I was born in 1981 with a birth defect called spina bifida. Spina bifida results in the spinal cord failing to close during the first months of pregnancy. When I was born, I had a hole in the lower part of my back that exposed my spinal cord. My prognosis wasn't the best at birth, and my parents were told that I would not be able to walk at all, that I would have multiple learning disabilities, and that I would most likely not live past the age of 15. Throughout my childhood and teenage years, to help improve my quality of life while living with a disability, I had a series of surgeries, 14 in total. The surgeries that I had often encountered setbacks which prolonged the healing process and kept me away from experiencing what all children enjoy, playing. I was born into a very large family. My mom is one of 7 children and my dad was one of 10. My fondest memories of growing up as a child include all of the time I've spent with my cousins, and most often we went to the playground. There were 2 playgrounds within a short distance of my grandparents' house where I spent a majority of my summers. The playgrounds of that time in the late 80s and 90s, when I was coming up, they often presented an obstacle for me though, using my crutches. I could not lift my legs high enough to get through the wood chips or the gravel. You may have to do things differently and you may take more time, but you can do anything you set your mind to. I never knew how many times in my life I would have to put those words to the test. Words of my dad that I have carried with me from those times on the playground, with my cousins through today. My dad died when I was 17 years old, and that is still the single event that has the most impact on my life. I went on to graduate high school and to receive a bachelor's and master's degree in psychology and counseling. Life has had many adventures in store for me. So many great times that I've had to share with my mom, who remains one of my biggest cheerleaders. So many great memories with all of my closest friends. Through it all, I could have never dreamed that life would lead me to where I am today. In 2010, I started my own consultant company called OurView, raising awareness and changing the tone of conversation regarding individuals who have disabilities. In June of 2011, I was introduced to an organization called buildjakesplace at a 5K relay walk that they hosted, and my life would never be the same. By 2012, I was serving as a board member, and in October of 2013, I was hired to be executive director of the organization. One of the most significant things that we do at buildjakesplace is that we bring those who do not have disabilities together with those who do have disabilities. We operate the Camden County, New Jersey Miracle League, a baseball league for children and adults who have disabilities, where volunteers who do not have disabilities assist the players with playing the game. Through our Beneficial Buses program, we facilitate days of play at Jake's Place for students who have disabilities. Our volunteers who show up on those days interact with the students and have lunch with them. This wheelchair here belongs to a student who visited Jake's Place with his classmates one day. AJ has spina bifida just like I do. He had known about the field trip to Jake's Place and had looked at our website the night before, but when he arrived to the playground, he was very unsure about what he would be able to do, being that he used a wheelchair. AJ quickly discovered that he could get around on the whole playground while staying in his chair. He also discovered that he could get around just as fast and as safe while propelling himself using his arms up and down the ramps and on the rubberized surfacing that surrounds the equipment. The greatest joy that I have serving in this capacity as executive director is watching children have an experience that I was unable to have as a child, which is to enjoy the full access of a playground. These days, I get to spend a lot of my time with friends who have young children of their own. They get to see me as someone who lives daily with a disability, and because of Build Jake's Place, I can enjoy chasing them around on the playground. It is a privilege and honor to bring the magic of play to everybody of every ability. Thank you for your support of Build Jake's Place.